My buddy Roy was staying with me for the week, following the news I gave him that my wife had to take a mandatory business trip down south. We were going to be pretty much college kids again for the whole 4th of July week. On day 1, we played video games, went inside of my pool, and drank, I'll admit it. Later that night, after talking some politics, we were both pretty hungry. I was going to order a pizza and soda, but Roy wanted to go out and get something. I was hesitant at first, since although slowing down, the coronavirus is still a thing. However, Roy tempted me with a delicious, greasy burger from McDonald's. So, we got in my car and drove the 5-minute commute to the fast food joint. Of course, we weren't going to eat inside. I doubt we could, even if we wanted to. No, we ordered in the drive-thru, which is where it all began. See, we ordered a bunch of stuff. Big Macs, french fries, sodas, chicken nuggets, because I don't care how old I am, you're never too old to eat those things. They're amazing. Anyway, basically, we got a lot. After waiting about 5 minutes, Roy started to get impatient in the passenger seat. I told him to calm down and that the food would be ready any minute. And then another 5 minutes passed by. 10 minutes was way too long. There was also no one at the window anymore, but the lights were still on inside. "Okay, this is ridiculous," Roy said while turning off his phone and opening my car door. "Where the hell are you going?" I asked. "To see what the hell the holdup is," he responded, shutting my door and jogging to the front entrance. After a few seconds of going over it in my head, I figured why not, hopping out of my car too, turning it off. There was no one behind me in case you were wondering. I got to the entrance and opened the door, seeing a regular McDonald's. Roy was standing at the counter trying to look into the kitchen. "Hello?" he said for what sounded like the 4th or 5th time. "Why don't you just go check it out yourself? Because somebody could still be back there," he responded before yelling another, "Hello!" That's when I turned to look at the giant play place, separated from the main eating area by a wall of glass. I examined it for a second. The last time I've actually utilized the play place was when I took my young nephew here last year. I noticed that behind one of the circle windows in the 4th level, I saw a pair of glowing light blue eyes staring at me. I jumped back, startled. Roy turned to me. "What is it?" he asked. Up there, do you see it?" I asked while pointing at the play place. Before Roy could even walk over to me, a loud crash came from inside the kitchen. Roy turned back to the kitchen and started yelling again. "Hello? Come on, I know someone's there. I heard that, for God's sake." All of a sudden, we heard groaning and faint footsteps getting louder and louder. Roy started to back up, getting closer to me, probably out of fear. I spun around to try and see the eyes again, but instead, I saw this tall black figure, extremely lanky and skinny, hunched over a little too. The eyes were still glowing light blue. Then, Roy called out, "Shane, move!" I spun around again and saw Roy run towards me, pulling my arm. I saw what looked like a zombie limping out of the kitchen behind the counter. I yelled as the zombie growled loudly and then tried crawling over the counter. Roy and I pushed open the door, running back to the car. I turned it on and jumped inside, Roy following in the passenger seat once again. I hit the gas pedal, speeding out of the parking lot. While driving out of it, I turned for a second look at the building one more time, only to see the lanky black figure staring at me, now even taller and skinnier than when I was inside. For some reason, it was like I was entranced by its eyes. I couldn't look away. Shane, look out!" It hit us like a brick. The car went spinning around in the middle of the road. When we finally stopped, the car was on fire, of course. Roy was unconscious or dead. Somehow, I wasn't either. I simply got out of the car and walked a few feet back towards the McDonald's. I don't know why. I heard the truck driver that hit us jump out of his truck and run towards me. "God damn it! Holy mother of God! Hey bud, you okay?" I didn't answer. All I could see was the lanky figure standing right up against the glass. Then, when the truck driver touched my shoulder, I fell to the ground unconscious. I woke up in the hospital, confused and dazed, wondering what had happened. My wife was sitting next to me, sobbing with her head on the bed. My parents were next to her. The incident was all over the news. What happened after I fell was actually rather complicated. The truck driver, Earl, I later learned, kneeled to make sure I was okay, but in doing so, he too saw the lanky figure standing at the glass. He fell and ran back to his truck, grabbing his phone and calling the police. However, when the cops showed up, the lanky figure was gone. Nobody believed Earl or me, the cops writing off the figure as hallucinations caused by the stress of the situation. But that doesn't explain how the two of us saw the exact same thing. Conspiracy theories are already being formed over the internet. Roy was put into a medically induced coma, and when he wakes up, I doubt he'll ever speak to me again. I can't blame him. The lanky figure just captivated me so much for no reason. How does the zombie we saw crawling over the counter fit into all this? I have no idea. Hell, I don't even know what this is. It's all unexplainable, it all makes no sense, and it probably never will. I think I'm fine with that, actually.